had that statue made in honor of Thor. And seeing as the world serpent absolutely abhors the fat dauber, he was probably sick of looking at it.
But doesn't that hurt?
Well, he and Thor have a bit of an unpleasant history between them. Or they will, anyway. So I guess waking up to see it was worse than the thought of lumps of solid stone passing through his gullet. You want me to ask him?
No. Our only concern is Jotunheim.
Alright, wish me luck. Ooh, ha, ha, ha. You envy me. I've still got it, lads. He remembers me.
Welcome on back, guys. I'm Grimswolf with the Worthless Pictures. And so far, I've now done about, I would say, 8 more hours into the game since I last did a review. And it is shaping up to be probably my game of the year. There's just so much content to do. There's so much exploring. You don't have to just do the main missions. You can go and do little adventures with your boy and not have to focus on the task at hand. In doing so, there's a lot of reward for it. You can rank up your stats a lot quicker. And I would feel that when you actually go into more of the main story, as the progression of the story would most likely get harder and harder and harder, you'll go in there pretty much stacked, pretty much ready to face anything that comes your way in the realm of Midgard. There's really nothing else I can say other than just I have not had this much fun with a game as I have with God of War. I have to literally tell myself to put the game down. I have to come up with time to say, all right, enough's enough. I have to put the game down. I have things I got to go do. And it's been a long time since I've had a game like that. I think the last game that made me feel this way was The Last of Us. And it's been such a great time. Between having objectives to do and different areas to explore, it rewards you for being curious. And that's what I love about it. When you look at the map, you can pinpoint areas like, oh, I need to maybe possibly go over here because it's still cloudy on my map. And like I'm showing you right there. And so you go and you complete the missions and you get random items. You can get different enchantments for your gear. You can get different side missions from characters. And depending on the mission, you can get a piece of armor or not a weapon, but like a new pommel for your axe. There has just been so much to do, and it doesn't feel like a chore. It doesn't feel like I have to go and do X, Y, and Z of things to accomplish a particular task and then have it rinse and repeat. Even though it is repetitive in the standpoint of going to different areas, finding loot, there's going to be about 5 to 6 different enemies, and then within that, in each section, you're probably going to run into a boss, like a lighter boss, kind of like these guys that I'm fighting right here. But again, it doesn't feel repetitive. It feels fresh. It feels new every single time. And I don't know how they were able to do that, other than just they're very good at coming up with game content. And I cannot express enough the sheer magnitude of this game and the puzzles and the figuring out of things. Saying, okay, I can't go here, but I know that I can access this area because I have the ability between Atreus' arrows to access this. So what am I doing wrong? And so the turnover on your ability to understand exactly what is happening in the world is amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Funny how life works.
You know, when we first did the review, you know, I was just so gung-ho about it. I was like, you know, this is the greatest game ever. I've only done 2 hours, but it's still, in my opinion, a very well-built game. I had no idea what was ahead of me after that review. And I have not once been disappointed by this game at all. Between the story, the gameplay, the combat system, the gripe that I had was the way that you can parry and you have to pretty much be facing your enemy. You get used to that. And once I got used to that, it wasn't a problem anymore. It wasn't a frustration as it was in the beginning when I'm used to a particular style of combat. And that's okay. And that is perfectly fine. Because so long as it's this is a new way to play a game, and then once you figure out what you need to do, you're going to enjoy it, I don't care. But if it's a new way and it's just not fun, then that's a problem. But that is not the case here, folks. This is beyond anything that I believe we're even expecting of a sequel for God of War. The bond that you have with Atreus that I spoke of in the previous review, over this course of the story, as to where I'm at right now, you're starting to warm up to your son. There's some events that happen in the game where you're in this dream world and you hear Atreus speaking, but he's speaking to his dead mother. And he's telling her how he really feels about you. And when you come out of that dream, you start to see Kratos be a little bit more gentler with Atreus, be a little bit more supportive, be a little bit more willing to put his hand on his shoulder, or to not instantly get so angry with him and just call him like a stupid boy, but to explain why things are going on in terms of the battles, or even the way that he fought and what he did wrong and what he needs to improve on. That's amazing. The character development and the arc of the story is flowing so beautifully. It's nothing that I would ever say would be what am I trying to say? The story is nothing that wouldn't be out of the norm of an Oscar movie at this point. Like, if this doesn't win awards this year for at least like the best storyline in a video game, I would be extremely surprised. Extremely surprised. And there is no amount of glitches that I've experienced, and not amount of glitches, but there's certain things that happen in the game where you go to deflect really quick, or you know that you rolled but the hitbox still hits you. Even though that's frustrating, those things do not take away from the game. It doesn't take away anything. Sure, there's times where I'm like, man, this game is really pissing me off right now, but it doesn't make me not want to play the game. And that's very rare, because there are some games out there, I'm not going to name names, but you know that you're doing what you need to be doing, and the game is just screwing you, and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to have these issues where you are trying so hard, and you know that you're fighting the way you need to, and then because of an in-game glitch, you get screwed, essentially. And so with that, I honestly want to make my score a 10 out of 10. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. The head you saw there, by the way, at the very beginning, his name is Mimir. He's the smartest man alive, and as you can see, I wear him as a belt, or a little ornament on a belt, because he's going to help us get into Jotunheim. and he just gives advice and tells stories and stuff when you're in your boat, and it's just a ton of fun, So I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. We're trying to put out a video a week. That's the goal. That's what I've told Refuted Fate and Nuclear Zero that I'm going to try to do. So enough of my talking. I'm going to cut to some other game footage, and we'll wrap up the video here and move on with our day. So thank you so much for watching, guys. We really appreciate all the support. Remember, if you tune in at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every Friday, you'll see the Worthless Podcast on twitch.tv/WorthlessPictures, or you can find us on our website at worthlesspictures.com. You can also tune into iTunes. Look on iTunes for the Worthless Podcast. We also put our previous podcasts on there as well. So again, thank you so much for the love and support. We really appreciate it, guys, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video.
Whatstone behind. If Sindri wants it, it must be really useful.
Well, lad, reavers have very specific priority. If it's not shiny and you can't eat or drink it, might as well use it as a blunt object. We may get a piece of the chisel and be gone before they even notice. Oh.